Okay, everybody, well, welcome. Those of you who know St Antonys will be very familiar with what I'm looking at here now. It's the rose window behind the altar, but from a very strange angle. We're up near the ceiling here, up near to heaven. And getting up here, you can see lots of details in this beautiful rose window. Now, you know that in the Middle Ages, the rose windows were, people couldn't read or write. So to walk into a church, and it would be a sign of what we should be. If God is at the center of our lives, we will find happiness and balance. And you can see all the saints here are looking towards Christ in the center. And there's so many beautiful things here because you've got preachers, you've got teachers, you've got housewives, you've got queens, you've got stigmata, you've got people who love prayer, people who love preaching, you've got all kinds of people here. And the first person we see at the very bottom is St John Forrest. He was Catherine of Aragon's confessor, and he was killed by Henry VIII. Then you have St Clare of Assisi. She inaugurated, if you like, she has such a love of the Eucharist. She was from a rich family in Assisi, and she left everything to follow St Francis on the steps of poverty. And you can see the monstrance because she had such a deep life of prayer. And then you have St Bernardine, who, by the way, worked in the plague in the 1400s in Siena, and very courageously found creative ways of helping and preaching in the middle of the plague. So we can ask him for his intercession right now. Then we have a very old friend of ours, St Bonaventure. He is the patron saint of our school here, but also you can see with his book, and he was a cardinal, but he's the third order. At the very top, you have St. Francis with his stigmata, who is the founder of the Franciscan order. Obviously, they're all Franciscan here. Then you have our lovely friend, St. Anthony. Now, amazingly, being up here, you can see that he holds in his hands a flame of fire. It's very rare to see that, but you can see that. It's a sign of his passion and his love of God and of the people that he worked with. Then after him, you've got, it took me a while to get this one. This is King Louis of France, Louis IX of France. And you can see a crown of thorns, and he was a third order Franciscan as well, and a very holy king, which was kind of rare. It's not often you get a king who's a good king, and also, and then you have a queen here, which is Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, and this shows someone who had a great love of the poor. And you can see if you get closer here, which is very rare to get closer, she's opening up her veil because she would steal stuff from the palace, borrow stuff from her own stuff and give it to the poor. But one day they caught her, and her brother-in-law was trying to trap her. And I said, "I have you." And she opened up her veil, and there was flowers there. There was a miracle of the roses, it's called. So she loved the poor. She was a social justice warrior, you could say. So there you have it. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 amazing saints, all turned towards Christ the King. And you can see when you're closer to Christ the King, he's got Alpha and Omega. He is the beginning, he's the end. If we keep our eyes on him, we will keep the same joy and holiness that they have. Joke of the day. News just in, breaking news. The Vatican has allowed priests to marry. But the law extirpates. You have to be over 85 and have the permission of your parents.